Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Biggie546. No intro, no graphics. Kenny Golladay is finally a giant. We waited how many days? The past 3 or 4 days, we've been just refreshing our phones, refreshing Twitter, waiting for Kenny Golladay to be signed to the Giants. I thought it would happen Thursday. I thought it would happen Friday, yesterday on my birthday. I was just expecting that to be my birthday present from the Giants, but it didn't happen. I was expecting it to happen this morning when I woke up because they said that they were talking contracts, and it didn't happen until today at about 3:40 something, 3:30, 3:40 something. Great news. The Giants needed a number one receiver in the worst way. He was the best receiver on the market. Is Kenny Golladay the best receiver in football? No, he's not. But we also didn't pay him like the best receiver in football. If you actually look at other receivers are getting paid more than him. So I think that it's a pretty decent deal going forward if he can be the receiver that Giants fans, as well as probably the Giants, think he can be going forward. We paid him $18 million a year, so 4 years, $72 million, $40 million guaranteed. This is probably going to be, he'll probably get that $40 million after 3 years or maybe after 2 years. So we'll be able to get out if it's some, horrible. And if he's like injury prone and it's some horrible deal, we'll be able to get out. And it gives us a lot of flexibility. It gives us flexibility as far as, the draft, as far as training camp, as far as the playbook. First off, let me tell you what Kenny Golladay is going to bring to the table day one for the Giants. A big body. The Giants have not had a big body in this offense for forever. The last big body kind of presence we had was probably Larry Donnell. Before that, the only good guy we've had was probably Hakeem Nicks, and he wasn't that tall of a guy. When you look at his body type and how tall he is at receiver and how good he is as a number one receiver, we haven't had a big body receiver like this since Plaxico Burress. And everybody is making the jokes. You add up 8 and 19, you get 27. You add up 10 and 17, you get 27. Those are, of course, Daniel Jones, Kenny Galladay's numbers, and Plaxico and Eli's numbers. So you both get 27. There's a lot of similarities. It took forever to get Plax signed. At one point, we pulled our offer completely on Plax. We went back and eventually signed him. So very similar situations. And if Daniel Jones can do what Eli did with Plaxico, this is going to be a home run signing because that means that this dude is about to tear up the NFC East. I do think that he's going to be a problem day one. He's not the most elite route running type of receiver. He's not going to kill you that way, but he is going to kill you with the contested catches, with the physicality. I mean, I've seen this guy catch passes, turn up the field, bulldoze people, and really be just a big body receiver. And I'm just so happy that the Giants were able to get the number one guy on the field. Now, listen, he's going to make a lot of catches for the Giants because we've kind of been spoiled with Odell Beckham. But if we didn't have Odell, Golladay will be making some of the best catches we've ever seen. He's going to be making catches in traffic, catches going up over top of people, catches all over any kind of way you can imagine him making a catch he's going to be doing. James Bradbury a couple of years ago just got absolutely mossed by Kenny Golladay in the back of the end zone. And the dude is just a freak of nature for how he can attack the football. Again, he's not the most elite route runner, but he is he's a physical beast. And that physicality is going to even continue to benefit him going forward. Even as he starts to lose that speed and jumping ability, he still knows how to use his body and get in the right place to be that dangerous target. So he's always a threat to catch the ball. Those 50-50 balls to him are really 90-10 balls. I really haven't seen much of anybody, besides your Hall of Fame guys like Calvin Johnson, be so good at making almost every single contested catch. I've never seen this at this level. Odell, he could get out physical to some point. So Golladay has the body, size-wise and height-wise over in Odell. So he's much more of a threat in any kind of jump ball situation because he doesn't have to jump as high and he doesn't have to gain as much momentum to make these kinds of catches. But Golladay is going to be our number one receiver day one, no matter what we do in the draft. He will be that number one target, and I expect him to have a big season coming out of this gate. I don't really see much of anybody in this division that can cover Kenny Golladay for an entire game. And, also be able to deal with the other things that we're bringing to the table with Darius Slayton and Sterling Shepard coming back, being in their right roles as the number 2 and number 3 receiver. That's not including it if we add a receiver in the draft. People are going to be right where they need to be, and everybody is going to be able to win their one-on-ones. Golladay is double covered. You're going to have other guys, and Golladay has experience being double covered. He's been the number 1 there for a little while, and he just fits DJ perfectly. He's the best contested catch down the field threat, kind of, go up and get it receiver in this league. It's not a debate. He just is. And then Daniel Jones is one of the best deep ball throwers in the league. So it's basically like peanut butter and jelly. They go together so perfectly. I'm sure that's why he decided to come to this team, because he saw how well Daniel Jones was able to throw the ball down the field. And I could not be more excited that we finally, I just really want to know what they were talking about, what board games they were playing. Were they playing were they watching March Madness basketball? What were they talking about for almost 60 hours that he's been in New York and no deal had gotten done? I wonder what they were talking about all this time. I'm very curious to see these interviews from the GM, from the coach, and from Golladay, just to see what was going on during these meetings. But Golladay is going to solve a lot of things, along with the Kyle Rudolph signing, 2 big bodies in the red zone. The Giants will not have any more issues in the red zone, as far as having that big body who can catch that fade route. And then you have Saquon and DJ in the backfield, who are both threats to run that ball. You're going to have Sterling Shepard, who's a slot target. And then you'll have Rudolph, and you'll have Slayton, and you'll have whoever we sign, whoever we take in the draft. Now, man, Golladay, that was big enough news already. But we saw this report yesterday, and I did not make a formal video about it. This report came out yesterday that the Giants are also looking at Adoree Jackson. We're looking at Adoree Jackson. He's supposed to be visiting tomorrow. And if we come out of this offseason with Adoree Jackson and Kenny Golladay and the moves that we've already made to kind of fill out the depth, man, this team is going to be really fun to watch, because Adoree Jackson as your second corner is not a bad thing at all. It's not. I'm thinking if we sign him, it'll probably be more of a 1-year deal. So it'll be more of a short-term thing. But him being our second corner next to Bradbury, and then to have the offense, getting much better as I expect it to get better. So this team is looking really, really good. And if we bring in a guy like Adoree Jackson, that's really going to be something else, man. Because first off, the dude is fast. I've seen him track Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's not, of course, he's not faster than Tyreek Hill, but I've seen him literally, track Tyreek Hill down the field on go routes. So he's very fast. He has great makeup speed, and he will be a great match for this zone defense. Great reaction time, great ability to close out on the football. And Adoree Jackson is going to be a huge signing if we can get him. And if we can come out with both of those guys, again, 2 huge signings, 2 guys that fit our scheme, and I really like it. And that's what I like about what we've done this offseason. We've gotten guys who fit the scheme. We didn't go out and just look at the top free agents and just sign all of the guys at the top. These guys fit our scheme. Kenny Golladay just happened to be the best receiver on the board, but he was also the best fit for what we run. He can run those curl routes and use his big body to shield people off and catch those tight passes in coverage. He can do that. He can go downfield and go take those go routes. He can run these slant routes and, turn them into big plays. So I'm just very pleased with what Dave Gettleman has done, with what Joe Judge has done. Obviously, he has an input. Still up to Dave Gettleman, though, at the end of the day. And I'm just very pleased with what happened this free agency. This changes everything for the draft. We have so much more flexibility. We can target that receiver. We can target that corner. We can target pretty much whatever we want at 11, take the best player on the board. We can go offensive line. We can double up on offensive line if we take Adoree Jackson. We can take 2 offensive linemen in the first 2 rounds. So there's a lot of things that we can do. This pretty much takes our team to the next level, because we don't have to, try to reach, even though I don't think it will be a reach, but we don't have to make sure that we have to absolutely come out with that number 1 receiver at number 11. But Kenny Golladay finally, man, is a New York Giant. It was only a matter of time. Hopefully he has as great an impact as Plaxico Burress. Hopefully he has 70% of the impact that Plaxico had. But I'm just so happy that he's here. I know you guys are too. And I'm going to get out of here. Tell me, guys, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you think of this signing. A lot of people are saying we overpaid. There's always something to complain about in Giants Nation. But I'm going to get out of here.